Hi everyone and welcome back to our Python 30 days series, and this is day 4. So today we are going to learn one of the most important and powerful concept in Python, that is your loops. So before we touch any code, let's clearly understand what a loop actually means. So a loop means repeating the same task again and again until a condition is satisfied. Instead of writing the same code multiple times, we use the loops to automate repetition. Why are loops important? This question is on mind. So let's imagine a simple scenario. You want to print the salary of one employee. That is easy task. Okay. Next, if you want to print the salary of thousand of employees, then it is creating a problems. Will you write 100 print statement? Of course not. So this is exactly where loops come into picture. So loops save time, effort, code length, and errors. Now we understand loop, real examples of loop. Okay, so first talking about while loop. So in while loop, we can understand with the daily alarm ringing. This is a while loop. Okay, for loop, we can say that our attendance list, and if we talking about while loop plus break, so that is ATM pin attempt. So in ATM pin attempt, like you have one time you have put some pin, this is wrong, then that is break. Okay, so you can understand this concept like that. So conclusion is loops is equal to your automation. Any system that work automatically uses loops internally. For example, this is a bad practice. Like if I want to uh, type 4 times Python. Okay, so what I have done, 4 times I return the print. Okay, just go here, run my code. So, and this is a one method. And if we run same thing with for I in range 4, it means we have defined 4 times we want to print that. Okay, just go and run that. So we have getting 4 times this statement. So what is the problem with our first approach? This is our first approach 1, and this is our approach 2. So in approach 1, code repetition, we have written 4 times this code. Time consuming, we have getting like if we print 4,000 times, then we can return it is 5,000 times. So high chances of mistake here. So, and this is not a professional way to write any Python code and not scalable also. So now we go to in detail our second approach which we have written here. So here range define a 4 time. It means 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. If I put here 10 time and I can run this code, so it is printing 10 times. Okay. So loop runs 10 times, same output with less and clean code. Same work, minimal code. This is how professionals write code. Now we go to understand the types of loop. Okay, first is while loop. While loop used when we do not know how many times the loop will run. For example, login attempt. So we haven't any idea. Alarm ringing. And one more uh, example we can understand this user input. Okay, so these user input until valid. Okay, so these three example you can understand the while loop. If we're talking about login attempt, first you go there, just it means this is iteration based. While loop is condition based. So here we have put the condition, so that's why this is a while loop. Okay, now understand iteration based. So for iteration based, for loop. Okay, so this is a iteration based. In our line number 10 and 11 code, we have written this code is iteration based. Okay, so why we used we know advance how many times the loop should run. So for example, list of imply fixed record. Okay, so in that scenarios we are using the like list of employee. It means we have know that we have a 10 employees are there and we want to print the things. Attendance list. Okay, we know that like, in a class we have a 50 number of students and print item in a card. It means we have a specific list of like 10 item or 20 item product list are there and we want to print that. So these two look example. Now we go one by one. So first we pick our for loop. So a for loop is used to iterate over a sequence and perform an operator on each element. What is the sequence? Sequences like range, okay, list, tuple. So these are the sequence based. Okay. If we're talking about range, list, tuple, we can say that string, set, dictionary. Okay. And if talking about their syntax, so for example, for any variable in sequence, okay, and then your code to execute. So line by line, we can understand variable. It is a temporary variable which we are creating. Okay, in fetch element one by one. sequence. This is a data source, and indentation define loop. Okay, so for example, like we have already go through with our for loop, so I can explain one more time this one. For I, okay, and here I type the print I. So internal working range goes to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and loop assign value to I one by one. So this I value is and print each value. Okay, so for example, if I run this one, I can show the clean window. So it is printing 0. First I is assigned as a value 0, then I is assigned as a value 2, then 3, and then 4. So if you're talking about in interview range, why we using the range? So range stop value is always exclusive. It means it is always exclusive. Okay, so this is a one example. Let's understand one more example. For I in range 1 comma 6, it means started from 1 and print till 6. So now the scenario is here. Our loop is started from 1, okay, and stop on 6. So 6 is not included here. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out we are getting output from 1 to 5. Let's run this one. Sorry, editation missing. Okay, so it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just understand one more example. So this is a first example where we have provided a one range. Here we have provided some limitation like 1 to 6. Now we understand one more example like for I range 1 to 12. So start, it means this first value is start, stop, and step. It means our range started from 1 to 11 and two times we are stop. So printing even number. It is printing even number. Let's run this one so you can understand better. It is printing odd. odd number 13579. So here what I have put, so this is generate the odd number. Okay, now let's change it. So same thing we want to print for even. So what we do here, here we have defined the range 2, 22 and 2. So what it is printing 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It means we have started from 2. So this is printing even number and skipping value. So let's run this code. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. So now you have understand this. It means printing in this code we have printing odd number 1, 11. It means we started from 1 to 11, and every two stop we are getting our values. Same for our even 222 and 2. So understand like what is the term? This first it is denoting start point, 11 it is denoting stop point, and this 2 is step. How many step you have required? For example, I can change this 4. So what should it is printing? 159. It means consecutive uh, every four step we are print the value here. Okay. Now let's now go to next example. Like we have a employee. Okay, these four are our employees, and sorry, I think one second. Okay, so let's move to next thing. I think so. Okay, so indentation is more important because sometimes we are typing our code. So let's understand like what we have done here. Skip this one. Like so, used this is used for data processing, ETL pipeline, and reporting. Okay, so same thing we can understand with our one more example for loop with string. Okay, so here we have provide some. Okay, so this this example using for data processing. Okay, one more example I can tell you. In real world we can use for the password validation. So for example, we have a name is equal to Python. Okay, so if we go through with this example, so what? Okay, so real world example, password validation. It is validating password like first word, second word, third one, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay, so all character it is validating here. It means character count and text analytics. So this is example of loop with string. Okay, now loop with tuples. So we have a number 10 to 15 for we can put this number into our loops and print. And if I go to run that code, so we are printing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so these are the few example for for loop. So tuple is immutable but iterable. Okay, so we can understand one by one. So this is related to the range. Okay, then we have using loop with string, loop with tuple, and loop with list. So this is a loop with string, and here we can say that loop with list. So this is the first example, loop with list. Range you have already understand the things. If you have any questions, so you can put your questions in our comment box. Okay, now let's move to understand while loop. So the first one is this is related to your uh, for loop. Now we understand this with the while loop. So a while loop execute as long as condition remains true. Okay. So for example, we can understand that one. First we go through with what is syntax for that. While condition and our statement. Okay. So first example is counter based loop. So counter based loop, we have provided some count here. Then we have put while loop count 5 is greater than equal to print this and count 1 plus. Here I can. Okay, so understand one by one. So this first is here we have initialization counter. We have provide uh, doing the initialization. Then we are checking the condition. Then execute our block and update the variable and repeat the things. So for example, I can use here only use here our variable. So it can more understandable for us. So now I can run this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So basically here we have step by step processing. Okay. And we have here provide the condition greater than or equal to 5. Okay. So that's why infinite loop. So sometime interviewer asks you this question. So first we understand what is the problem. So condition never become a false, and rules are saying that always update condition variable in a while loop. So how would we understand this? I can remove this line number 59. So now it did become as a infinite loop. It was never ending the things. It is printing one 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 one. Okay. So sometimes interviewer asks through this question. So that's why this condition is put here. So we have provide some range here. Okay. Now next understand the we have already completed our infinite loop. Now loop control statement. Okay. Loop with break. So before loop with break, break continue pass. Okay. So first understand break. So in break statement, so exit with loop. So we start with for. We have provided some range here. So what is the use case? First understand the use case here. So range search completed. Okay, it means we have start our searching and we have found the condition. So if you go through here, we have provide I, range we have provide 10, and put if condition where if I is equal to 6, then break. So for example, if I run that one, so 0, it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is found 6 is available, then it is break here. So where we have using this search complete, okay, understand condition is satisfied. This is the other way to understand this, and some error encountered. Okay, now next, continue statement. Okay, so in continuous statement, skip the current iteration and move to next iteration. So in first we have put as a break, here we have put as a continue. Let's run this one. Once again I can run that so you can understand better. So it is skipping the 6 and print till 9. It means we have our print to 10, 0 to 10. We have found 6 and then we have continue. So break versus continue. Sometime interviewer asks this question to you. So in break, stop loop, and in continue, we skip the iteration. Control in break we can say that control exists, and in continue control continue. Okay. Now understand one more example here. This is pass. So basically pass is a empty block. Okay, and if I run this code here, so it is passing. Okay, so why we using the pass? So in simply world we can say that maintain syntax and placeholder for future logic. So we can understand in a deep. Now we go to after to understand all the for loop while loop, we go to with one example. So let's start with understand login attempt. Okay, so for example we have attempt one. Okay, attempt 1, just start with a while attempt greater than 3. So before that, some become more get more simple. Just print. Okay. Now let's run this one so you can understand better. So it is a consecutively uh, trying 3 times. Login attempt 1, login attempt 2, login attempt 3. Okay. So this is a real time scenario for you. One more example we can understand with the salary increment. So for example, salary, we have provided one list. So this is the cell list we have provided. Okay. So this is the salary list. First we understand the basic things, then we go for the and print s plus 5. Okay. Now I can run this our list. So in every salary we have getting 5,000 additional amount. 35, 45, 55, 65, and whatever what is the list we have here, that is a 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. Okay. So these two example, real time example, which you can understand uh, this for loop and while loop in more better way, where we using these type of things like in our payroll system, data processing and automation script. So so now we going to our what type of interview questions asked by interviewer. So first question mostly asked by the interviewer, for versus while loop. Sorry. So for loop is used when the number of iteration is known, and while loop is used when the number of iteration is unknown. Okay. What is the infinite loop? And then interviewer asks break versus continue. And next is more nested loop is also important topic, so you can go through with this one also. And one more question every time asked by interviewer, range. So range stop value exclude. Why is range stop value exclude? Okay, so these are few important questions interviewers sometimes ask. Okay, so let's close this session because we have understand all the things. So today we have understood Python loops from basic to advanced. Okay, in if your loop are strong, then we can move to our next topic like functions, file handling, automation, data engineering. So everything become easy. So you can do your practice, go to more detail, go more testing, just change the value and com- it is understandable for you. Okay, so thank you.